Hello, online pipe community. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today we're going to talk about a word, but first, in a 3-star pipe by Lee, fairly tall billiard. Not quite really a stack, but for these old American factory pipes, it's a substantial billiard. I have got some more of J.F. Germain & Son King Charles mixture. Today's word, yardism. Chad has been doing a series of videos where he tosses out a single word for us just to contemplate. It's been a very interesting and thought-provoking series. Until now, however, I haven't exactly followed his instructions because I've watched everybody's responses, holding off on making one just to make sure whether I had anything different or unique to contribute. This week I do think I have a little bit of a different take. This week Chad's word was home. I think this will reverberate with some of you who are military brats or who, for other reasons, may have moved around a lot as kids. See, as an Air Force brat, I had lived in, is it 9 or 10 places by the time I graduated from high school. That's moving around quite a bit. What does home mean? Well, my parents are both from St. Louis. One from the suburb of Ferguson, the other from the opposite side, the southern central side of St. Louis and Maplewood. So as a kid, when they would talk about home, a lot of times that's what they meant. You know, we'll be going home for Christmas. Didn't mean Florida or Georgia or Alabama or Virginia or any of those places. It meant we'd be packing up the car and driving from wherever we were across country back to their childhood homes. My grandparents still lived in the homes that my parents graduated from high school in. So in that generation, there was quite a bit of stability in that sense. Later on, when I was in college, that context of home still rang true for me, but it was wherever my parents happened to live. Even if it was someplace I'd never lived before. In fact, my parents moved from Illinois to New York, upstate New York, between my junior and senior years in college. I'd never lived there, but I still said that year that I was going home for Christmas. How can home be someplace you've never lived, never even been? Fast forward 30 plus years of marriage, kids in their mid-20s. We've lived in 2 places for a combination of 20 plus years. One was a house in Chandler, Arizona, now here in North Carolina. Now when I talk about home, I mean the house I own. Maybe it'll provide the same kind of stability for my kids that my grandparents did for theirs. I'm not saying my parents didn't provide a good home just because it wasn't consistently located. Quite the opposite, in fact, and we'll get there in a sec. But the experience is very different for those of us who didn't grow up with some of the advantages and disadvantages of some of y'all who have homes within a stone's throw of where your grandparents live. Now, looking at all of these different things that throughout my life I've called home. For me, home is where the people I love live. Home is where the people who love me live. And I'm not talking about love the way we popularly think of it as, you know, an emotional connection to something or warm, fuzzy feelings. I mean the kind of love that, as Christians, we should aspire to, ideally, the kind of sacrificial love that you want the best for someone else to the point that you will give up something that you want in order for them to have something that is good for them. That's the kind of love I'm talking about. And that's what home is for me. It's wherever those people are. Right now, the main person in that group is my wife. Has been for 3 decades. My kids are welcome additions to that group. But that bond preceded them, and it has certainly outlasted their tenure under our roof. If I'm blessed, it will last until my tenure on this planet is done. And then my home will still be where the people who love me are and where the people I love are. Chad, hope that gave you just a little different angle on home. Well, like something you like. Maybe you can enjoy it like I am at home. But do enjoy your